1-2 count. Here it is from Lumpkin. Swung on and missed. Ball game. Yorktown, semi-state champions. Here's the left side attack by Lodge. Sends it out of bounds. And the Yorktown Tigers, 2012 3A semi-state champions. They're going back to Worthing Arena. Takes his first pitch right back up the middle. Rounding third. Headed home is Jake Preston. And that's the ball game.
This is Katie Johnson.
This is Riley Miller.
This is Leslie Sargent.
Yorktown will hold on. The Lady Tigers, back-to-back Delaware County champions. Yorktown defeats Delta.
This is Riley Neal from the Yorktown Tiger football and basketball team. Your home for the Tigers at DelawareCountyVoice.com.
From the historic Muncie Fieldhouse in downtown Muncie, Indiana, welcome to the 2014 IHSAA Boys Basketball Sectional 24 Championship. Right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com, where tonight it's the Yorktown Tigers taking on the Muncie Central Bearcats. Good Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside our cameraman, Wes Lorenz, our color commentator, Tony Sandlaben, I'm Robert Conant. Thanks for joining us tonight on DCV. The field house filling up. On one side, you got green and black. On the other side, you got purple and white. Guys, it comes down to this. One team is going to be your Sectional 24 championship.
Absolutely, Rob, and it's such an exciting time right now because obviously it is championship atmosphere here for the Sectional Championship, the right to go on to regionals. Next stop is semi-state and then state. I mean, it's amazing how close these teams are now, and it's, you look back on how the teams have gotten here, where they've gone. Even just in the sectional tournament, it's been exciting for both of these teams, so it'll definitely be a great matchup here for us today.
Absolutely right, Tony. These Yorktown Tigers came to play. They are riding a hot winning streak here towards the end of the season. They are a team that are as much different than the one Muncie Central faced at the beginning of this season. So that has all the makings of a very exciting sectional championship matchup.
Yorktown has won 7 of their last 8 dating back to the regular season. In Tuesday's opening round, they held on to a 4-point victory over their rivals from Delta. 47-43 was the final score there. Then last night they took on the Blackford Bruins, and in dominant fashion, the Yorktown Tigers were able to claim the victory 75-56 in a first half that was probably one of the greatest first halves that Yorktown has had all season long. Caleb Morey, Riley Miller combining for 7 3-pointers at the break. They had 36 points. They go on to score the most points they have in a game all season long with 75. 4 guys in double digits, led by Riley Miller's 22 points. And, Tony, Yorktown's going to have that style of game once again tonight if they want to beat these Muncie Central Bearcats.
Absolutely, Rob. You definitely want to see Yorktown come out with a balanced effort on offense. You mentioned Riley Miller, Caleb Morey, both had spectacular games. But you also mentioned, I believe, 4 different Tigers went into double digits last night, which obviously you love to see when you're going against a team such as the Muncie Central Bearcats. Those Tigers were Caleb Morey, also Riley Miller, obviously, Carson Moore, and Riley Neal. So 4 of the 5 starters were able to come out on top. Jake Preston kind of had a bit of an off night. He might be the X factor in this game. He wasn't that big of an impact player last night against Blackford, so look for him to maybe make an impact here tonight. The thing is, though, the last time these two teams played each other, which was the season opener, Yorktown had 4 guys go into double digits. Those were Riley Miller, Carson Moore, Caleb Morey, and Riley Neal, ironically the same guys, and they still lost. The thing is, Muncie Central put up 62 points.
Yeah.
So defense is definitely going to be a key in this game.
And it's going to be tough for Yorktown to stop Muncie Central, as everyone here in the county knows about the 6'8" senior Tyler Ahrens. Now, earlier this year he was injured, and he's only actually played 9 games out of the 20 that Muncie Central has played. And during that stretch where Tyler Ahrens was out, Muncie Central actually went on an 8-game losing streak. So their record, after upsetting Hamilton Heights last night, they have a 9-11 record, but don't let that record fool you, because they are better than that record shows, especially now that they have Tyler Ahrens back. Now the thing is, guys, like we mentioned, Muncie Central pulled the upset last night. They defeated the 10th-ranked Hamilton Heights Huskies with a final score of 53-47. But Tyler Ahrens had just 1 point in the win last night. And for Yorktown fans, that kind of has to scare you, knowing the top scorer for Muncie Central this season, who's only played 9 games, was held to just 1 point, and they were still able to pull the upset. So Yorktown's going to have a huge defensive game here tonight if they want to pull up the victory in this sectional championship.
And that 1 point, I think it may be a bit misleading. Hamilton Heights probably, game planned around Tyler Ahrens, game planned around shutting him down. That opened up the 4 other scorers on Muncie Central's team. They probably went off in that game.
The other guy that Yorktown's going to have to look out for, he had a big night last night, and he had a big night in the regular season matchup between these two teams. That's Philip Corthen, and it's kind of hard to believe, guys, that he is only a sophomore, but he can shoot the lights out from beyond the perimeter. Last night in the win, he had 18 points. 9 of them were from three-point land. On the season, he is shooting 38%. He has 43 three-pointers. And Tony, in that win against Yorktown in the regular season back in November, he finished with 5 three-pointers.
Yeah, and those were all of his 15 points. You actually saw in that win, Muncie Central also had 4 players go into double digits. So you'll want to see a more concentrated effort defensively, not necessarily on just one guy, but it's even harder. You got to shut down the team as a whole for the most part. And the amazing thing is we're seeing the Yorktown student section having some fun. Muncie Central, as you mentioned, pulled out a very balanced effort against Hamilton Heights. Blackford actually was able to have quite a bit of offensive production against this Yorktown defense last night. Luckily for Yorktown, they had such an offensive explosion that it really didn't matter. But you can't count on that happening in this game. You're definitely going to have to see Yorktown step up a little bit more defensively and not allow the Muncie Central Bearcats to go off in a balanced attack like they did the last time these two teams played.
Definitely a strategic game plan Coach Miller will have to have here tonight for his Yorktown Tigers. Last year, they upset Muncie Central in the regular season, but had their season come to an end in the sectional semifinals to these Muncie Central Bearcats. This year, they lost in the regular season. Maybe they can turn it around and pick up a win where it matters most here tonight in the sectional championship. Again, the winner of this will be sectional 24 champions, move on to the Blackford Regional that will be played next week. They will take on the winner of the sectional 23 championship, which actually on our sister station WellsCountyVoice.com, Greg Van Meter and company have the call of that. It's Norwell taking on Mississinewa in the sectional 23 championship. So throughout tonight's broadcast, we will give you updates of that game. So the sectional 23 champion on Wells County Voice will play the winner of this sectional champion next week in the Blackford Regional.
I wonder who Rob's rooting for in that one.
You know what? For my alma mater, Norwell, it's good to see the boys basketball program have success in the recent recent past, and it'll be interesting to see if Norwell can pull the victory in the sectional 23 championship, and then whoever wins this, no matter who it is, Yorktown or Muncie Central, if Norwell can move on to the regional, they're going to have a tough matchup in that regional next week. But thanks for joining us here tonight on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Again, I'm Robert Connett, Tony Sandlaven to my right, Wes Lorenz running the camera in a field house that is still filling up all around the gymnasium here on Walnut Street, downtown Muncie, Indiana. Again, Yorktown beat Delta in the opening round of the sectionals on Tuesday night. They defeated Blackford in the semifinals last night. Muncie Central pulling the upset over 18-3 Hamilton Heights last night in their semifinals matchup to set up this sectional championship here tonight. If you're not interacting with us and following us on Twitter, be sure to do that at Delaware Co Voice. You can also like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Delaware Co voice. The Muncie Central Pep Band in the house will get ready for tonight's national anthem here at the Muncie Fieldhouse.
And now, please join Muncie Southside students Brandon Holloway, Elijah North, and Jeremiah McKinney as they lead us in our national anthem.
That is cool.
I've never seen a trumpet, trombone, alto sax trio.
That is great how they did that with Muncie Southside, this being their final year as a high school. They have 3 members of Muncie Southside's band performing tonight's national anthem here at the Fieldhouse. That is cool. We'll get ready for tonight's starting lineups for this Sectional 24 championship. The pregame and the starting lineups brought to you by the University of St. Francis. To learn more about the University of St. Francis or to register online, visit sf.edu or call their admissions office at 800-729-4732. University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne, Indiana, proud sponsor on all 6 websites of the Voice Sports Network. The Yorktown Tigers coming in with a record of 17-4 overall. One of those 4 losses coming to these Muncie Central Bearcats in the season opener back in November, 62-51. And guys, what really hurt Yorktown in that game, it was tied after the first quarter. Muncie Central, though, went off in the second quarter, went up by double digits. And then kind of the theme that was at the beginning of this year was Yorktown pretty much relied on their 5 starters, and that was it. And they got tired. Muncie Central was able to pull away with the victory. Now that we've moved on throughout the entire season, we have seen that Yorktown has been able to use those bench players more often and get more productivity out of them. So a little interesting to see that this is a different Yorktown team than the regular season opener against Muncie Central.
Yeah, and Rob, what you just mentioned actually has happened especially lately. Yorktown's bench has been much more productive in the later stages of the regular season and now here in the sectional tournament. And so one thing that Muncie Central is very strong with is their speed. They are a very quick-scoring basketball team, and that can really wear out a starting 5 very easily, and that proved to be very effective the first time these 2 teams played. So one key Yorktown might want to try to do is slow things down a little bit. Make sure you can catch your breath, you know, when you have the basketball and you're able to execute on defense to not allow easy points going up for the board for Muncie Central.
Take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. Yorktown will be the visitors on the scoreboard. They will have their original starting 5 as they have been all season long. At one guard will be a 6-foot junior, number 3, Caleb Morey. And another guard will be number 11, Riley Miller. The 2 forwards will be Carson Moore and Jake Preston. And the center, the big man down low, will be the 6'5 junior, Riley Neal. For the Muncie Central Bearcats, the home team on the scoreboard, at one guard will be the 5'11 sophomore, number 15, Marcus Dukes. 5'11 senior, number 24, Joe Williams. A 5'11 sophomore, the three-point shooter, number 34, Philip Corthen, along with seniors 6'5 Jalen Barnes and 6'8 Tyler Ahrens. Again, I'm Robert Connett, Tony Sandlaben, and Wes Lorenz, right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Thanks for joining us wherever you're tuning in from, whether it be in Delaware County, across Indiana, or across the U.S. We're underway at the Fieldhouse, Yorktown, with the first possession. Miller will work it inside to Neal. Picks up his dribble. Pass out to Caleb Morey. Over to Jake Preston. He'll pull up a three to start the game. That rim short. Going up for the rebound. Riley Neal put back, and he draws the first foul. So right off the bat, Neal working down low on the rebound, drawing the foul. And the 6'5 junior will go to the line to shoot free throws.
And there we saw early on Jake Preston taking a shot. That's a sign, potentially, he's going to be a bigger factor in this game than he was last night. A different story, though, a little bit as far as a three-point shot is concerned. Those seem like they were automatic last night for Yorktown.
Riley Neal hits the first, also hits the second. Or check that, he missed the first one. He makes the second one. So it's 1-0 Yorktown, 30 seconds into the game. And now Muncie Central with their first possession. Left side, Joe Williams gets it to the top of the key. Corthen for three. He hits it. Again, he is the three-point shooter for the Bearcats, has been all season long, and the Bearcats lead 3-1. Carson Moore, he had 5 threes against Central in the season opener back in November. Now Morey works it from the right to the left over to Carson Moore. Now Miller in the corner with Corthen on defense. Inside to Neal. One-on-one with Tyler Ahrens. Finds underneath the baseline. Reverse layup, no good for Carson Moore. It'll go out of bounds, and it will belong to the Tigers. Last touched by Tyler Ahrens. Good look by Neal for Carson Moore. The back door, just unable to get the reverse layup in. Inbound will go to Moore. He'll get it to Morey. Top of the key. Three. Rims out. Fight for the rebound, and we'll go to Marcus Dukes. 6:40 to play here in the opening quarter. A 2-point lead for Central. Dukes will set up the offense for the Cats. Over to Ahrens near the top of the key. Now Jalen Barnes. Over to Corthen. Ahrens backing up on Preston, and he double dribbled. Turnover by Muncie Central.
Well, there you're seeing Yorktown is putting a lot of commitment on Tyler Ahrens. They are going to make sure he once again remains a non-factor in this game.
Miller brings it across the timeline, trying to work it all the way to the hoop himself. Went to pass it to Neal. It's in the corner, and Moore tried to save it, could not successfully. There's a turnover for the Tigers, and that's one thing that hurt Yorktown, Tony, last night against Blackford. They finished with 12 turnovers.
Yeah, and again, that was another thing that was covered up by the offensive explosion that we saw, which contributed to the massive lead that Yorktown had for most of the game. I don't think that'll be the case in this one. Muncie Central is a much different opponent.
Floater inside, good. Makes it 5-1, Muncie Central. Neal, and he dribbled along the sideline. Another turnover for Yorktown.
We're just seeing mishandling of the ball, miscommunication, and it's contributing to these turnovers, and this is not a good sign for Yorktown here early on. You cannot turn over the basketball, especially against an opponent like Muncie Central.
Corthen works it inside to Ahrens. Gets away from Preston, and he draws the foul on the floor, says the referee. This will be the first against Yorktown.
And it looked like Ahrens just on the turnaround. I'm not sure. I believe it was. Yeah, it was. It was Jake Preston just kind of got a hold of his jersey as he went for the hoop.
Inbound goes to Ahrens. He'll quickly pass to his left. Now to Corthen again. Inside to Ahrens. Had to track down the ball, goes up with it, and still finds a way to lay it in.
And that's what you can do when you're 6'8". He gets the ball under the basket, you can almost guarantee he's going to score.
A 7-1 start for Muncie Central. Morey in the corner. Gets it to Moore, top of the key. Under 5 to play here in the opening quarter. 7-1, Cats lead it. Morey. Gets it over to Miller. Right wing, inside to Preston. Backing up on Corthen. Triple teamed, and he still gets it to lay in.
Great effort right there by Jake Preston to beat the triple team. And that right, I mean, when you're Muncie Central, that's about all you can do on defense to try to stop a score. So when he still makes it, that's when you just kind of hang your head and be like, well, they deserved that one.
I'll make it 7-3 as an official timeout, waiting on Jalen Barnes to tie his shoe. We'll get back to action. 7-3, Muncie Central leads it here in the Sectional 24 Championship. Aarons. They work it to the left side. Joe Williams to Duke's top of the key. Now to Corthen. Over to Barnes. Barnes looking to drive inside. Finds the lane. He is rejected by Riley Neal. Back the other way. Miller gets to Morey. Fakes the 3. Fakes the 2. Pulls it up. Too short. Carson Moore with a rebound. He'll drive to the hoop and lay it in.
And just like that, Yorktown has found their rhythm. They cut it down to a 2-point lead. What an effort there offensively. Carson Moore, very alert, grabs the rebound and just goes right back up to the basket.
And just like that, it's a 2-point lead for Muncie Central, 7-5. So 2 straight baskets by the Tigers. Aarons will try a top of the key 3. That's off the back of the iron. Neal gets the rebound. He'll give it to Carson Moore across the timeline. Down the floor to Morey. Over to Preston. Wide open. He'll decide to take the 3, and it rims out. Fight for the rebound. Tyler Aarons will get it. That was a good look for Jake Preston. He was wide open. Couldn't able to knock it down. Aarons, top of the key. Over to Corthen. Guarded by Miller. Hands it off to Dukes. And now Williams. He'll drive. Kick out to Barnes. Deep 3. Dukes off the mark. Rebounded by Miller. 3 minutes to play here in the first. Yorktown has a chance to tie or even take the lead. Preston on the near side. Feeds it to Miller in the corner. Miller decides to go baseline. Finds Neal underneath. Basket and 1!
All of a sudden, momentum is right back on Yorktown's side. They tie the game up, score 6 straight points now, potentially a 7th to take the lead. Great look there offensively for Yorktown. I believe it was Miller who was able to find Neal in the paint. Somehow got the ball to him. It was like he was surrounded by white jerseys. Got the ball up, despite the foul, got the basket.
Neal, free throw, got it. 3-point play, and Yorktown takes an 8-7 lead. 7 straight points for the Tigers. 2:40 to play here in the first. Daryl McKinney has checked in. He'll pass to Dukes. Inside to Aarons. Backing up on Neal. Kick out, top of the key. Driving inside, floating it up. No good for Hatfield. Saving it from out of bounds. Ball tipped around. Controlled. Driving inside. No shot, says the referee. They'll call the foul on the floor.
Good break there for Central. The ball was just bouncing all over the place, but luckily for Muncie Central, Marcus Dukes was right there to get the ball back and continue to give them an effort offensively.
Foul went against Riley Miller, his first. Central inbounds. McKinney trying to find it inside. Pass deflected by Preston. Picked up by Miller. Tigers lead by 1. Miller, and he draws the foul. It'll go against the sophomore McKinney. He picks up his first foul. The third on the Bearcats. Yorktown will inbound underneath their own basket. 2:14 to play here in the first quarter. Inside, Neal with a reverse layup. He has 6 points, and Yorktown leads by 3.
And Riley Neal is showing up early here in this game. He had a bit of a slow start against Blackford, but now is a factor early in this one.
Aarons misses the three. Rebound goes to Yorktown. Under 2 to play here in the opening quarter. Miller, top of the key with McKinney all over on defense. He'll get it to Preston. Now Neal. Neal out to Miller. Back to Riley on the near side. Aarons on defense. Man-to-man defense for the Bearcats here in the first quarter. Moore. Over to Miller. 1:22 to play. Lob pass inside. Preston had contact, nothing called. And the rebound to Trenton Hatfield. He'll bring it the other way for the Bearcats. Left side, three-pointer. Oh, my goodness! Riley Neal saying no way!
And the Yorktown student section is going crazy. That was an insane block right there by Riley Neal. The shot went up, and the ball hit the stairs of the stands right there off the court. That was incredible.
That goes to show the 8-inch advantage Riley Neal had on that mismatch. So Bearcats will inbound from the sideline. That erupted the Yorktown crowd. McKinney will try a jumper. That one's not blocked, but he can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Morey with a minute to play here in the first. Moore looking to drive inside. Contact high off the glass. Can't get it to rim in, but he does draw the foul, and he'll go to the line.
And another excellent effort there by Carson Moore. Able to get a drive into the paint and draw the foul as he took the shot. And unfortunately not going to result in a three-point play, but free throws in a game like this are going to be crucial. Good thing Carson made that one, but whoever can take advantage of the opportunities given to them in a game that's this close can have the advantage. And in this game, in the regular season, Yorktown only missed one free throw.
Yeah.
Muncie Central missed 3, but both teams.
If it comes down to that.
Both teams were very productive at the charity stripe.
Second free throw knocked down by Moore. He has 4 points, and Yorktown with their largest lead. They up by 5 with 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. Marcus Dukes controls it, sets up the offense for the Bearcats. 12-7. Yorktown is on an 11-0 run. Inside. No good for Dukes. The rebound to Morey. He'll bring it up. 25 seconds. Miller tries the three. Hits it!
Nothing can go wrong for Yorktown right now. They have made stops on defense, gotten the ball back, and have been productive with their offensive possessions. An exclamation point right there by Riley Miller, with the three-point shot, contributing to this great first quarter we've seen.
Down to the final seconds. Three-pointer at the buzzer. No good for Philip Corthen. And Yorktown finishes the first quarter on a 14-0 run. They lead 15-7 after the first 8 minutes. We'll take a break. Second quarter coming your way on DCV.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
It's a pretty basic philosophy. Serve hot food hot and cold food cold. Provide good food at reasonable prices and do it quickly in a friendly atmosphere. That's what you'll find at Richard's Restaurants, a family-owned and operated business serving communities in Northeast Indiana since 1967. Offering home-cooked meals and daily features like their roasted chicken. It is also available for carryout. Richard's Restaurant, good food, good service at a good value. That's their goal for every meal served.
Welcome back to the Muncie Fieldhouse. Robert Conant, Tony Sandlave, Wes Lorenz with you here on DCV. Second quarter underway as Yorktown leads Muncie Central here in the Sectional 24 Championship, 15-7. Bearcats will have the ball to start this second quarter. Jumper on the way, no good. Rebounded by Neal. Yorktown is currently on a 14-0 run. Muncie Central started out with a 7-1 lead.
Now Yorktown has done an excellent job getting rebounds defensively.
Neal with the floater.
And then to further that point, they get the rebound, get down to the other end of the court, and are productive when they're on offense.
Driving inside, Corthan rejected.
I think it was Jake Preston that time.
Right side, three-pointer off the mark for Hatfield. The rebound to the Tigers. Morey decides to take a three. That's off the mark. Trey Cates with the rebound. Put back, draws the foul.
I am very impressed with what Yorktown has done, especially on defense. You know, we saw Blackford last night able to put up a good number of points against this Yorktown team. In an unfortunate effort because Yorktown was crazy on offense. This game's kind of been the opposite. They've been productive offensively, but have just put the hammer down defensively and have not allowed Muncie Central to do anything since giving up 7 points.
Trey Cates misses the first free throw coming into the sectional championship on the season. Trey Cates is a 76% free throw shooter. Second attempt. Misses that one as well. Rebound to Tyler Ahrens.
Bit of a break there for the Bearcats. Got to be able to take advantage of the opportunities you get with free throws.
Hatfield out, three-pointer for Williams. He launches it in and out. Fight for the rebound. Ahrens controls it and through the hands of Hatfield out of bounds.
And guys, I really think Tyler Ahrens has been a liability to the Muncie Central Bearcats so far in this game. You saw him throw the ball away there, but on the defensive side, he's given up a lot of offensive rebounds to the Yorktown Tigers. He's really just standing there in the paint, not doing anything defensively.
I don't want to speculate. I don't know what he hurt, but that might be from that injury. You never know.
Again, he's only played 9 of the 20 Muncie Central games this year. Back in November when these two teams played, he had 22 points. But last night, in the win against Hamilton Heights, he only had 1 free throw. As a steal by Marcus Dukes. 6 minutes to play till halftime. Kick out, Williams, top of the key, guarded by Cates. And now to Hatfield. Looking to drive, baseline. Gets it back out to Dukes. He'll drive in, hands it off to Ahrens. He lays it up. Tyler Ahrens now with 4 points, and Coach Miller will take a timeout.
And finally, we saw there Tyler Ahrens getting back to taking advantage of the extreme size that he has, able to just fly up to the basket and make the layup. You wonder if maybe Dago gets something going for Muncie Central. This game may turn into a game of streaks. Who can get the biggest streak of points going? Right now, we're seeing it's been Yorktown, but that could change.
Timeout taken by Miller. Coach Miller. 5:46 left here in the second quarter. 17-9. And we promised you that we would give you updates. The winner of this sectional championship will play the winner of sectional 23 next week in the regional. That game is on WellsCountyVoice.com. Currently in the second quarter, Norwell leading Mississinawa 18-10. So the sectional 23 champion will play the sectional 24 champ next week at the Blackford Regional. As we're back to action here at the Fieldhouse after the Yorktown timeout. Miller inside to Neal. They got numbers, and Neal lays it in. He has 9 points.
That time, Muncie Central in transition just lost track of Riley Neal. He ended up all alone underneath.
Ahrens for 3. He misses it. And on the rebound, Morey is fouled by Hatfield.
And another stop there for the Yorktown defense. I'm telling you, they have been, it's night and day what we're seeing tonight compared to what we saw last night.
Miller hands it off to Morey. And now Moore drives it in. Floater, no good. Fight for his rebound, but it's controlled by the Bearcats. Down the field, in transition, laying it up is Joe Williams. His first basket of the game. Central hits double digits. Yorktown leads by 8. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Miller looks to drive towards the hoop. Goes off the glass and good. Riley Miller now with 5.
And guys, we're seeing a completely different Yorktown offense. Tonight they're working the dribble drive, as last night we saw them shooting from beyond the arc.
Yep. A lot of shots inside. Neal tried to swat that shot. No good, but the rebound and the putback for Tyler Ahrens. So he quickly has 4 points here in the quarter. As Miller falls but controls the dribble. Moore gets it to Preston across the timeline. Waits for the rest of his team to gather up on the front court. Now drives inside the paint, floats it up. Contact, draws the foul. This will be number 3 on the freshman, Trenton Hatfield.
And Jake Preston is fired up with that call. Hearing a bit of disagreement, I think, from Muncie Central, I would assume.
Yep.
But an interesting no call that we saw on the other side of the court, too, so you wonder.
Preston misses the first free throw. And Tony, you mentioned earlier in this broadcast how free throws, if it comes down to it, usually Yorktown's pretty good all season long in those type of situations. Preston knocks down the second free throw. Yorktown so far is 4 of 8 here tonight.
Not quite the percentage you're used to if you're a Yorktown fan, but it's early, and that has a chance to improve.
Faking the 3 is Dukes. Looks to drive, kick it out instead to Corthen. He'll get it to Dukes. Looking to drive on Caleb Morey, and we'll have a touch foul on the floor going against the junior. And I believe this will just be Caleb Morey's first.
Now we're seeing it looks like Muncie Central moving around, trying to work the dribble game and give Yorktown a bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Dukes resets the offense. 3:40 to play here in the first half. Yorktown leads by 9. Ahrens, one-hand hook shot and hits it. The senior now with 8 points. 22-15. Morey will bring it up. Pass to Miller. In the far corner, gets it out to Preston. To Moore, three-pointer no good. Fight for the rebound, and again it goes to Tyler Ahrens. 3:08 to play. Dukes picks up his dribble. Falling down to the ground is Corthen. Picking up the loose ball is Ahrens, and Muncie Central will reset with under 3 minutes to play. 22-15, Yorktown on top. And a foul away from the ball. It will go against Yorktown on defense against Riley Neal. That was underneath the basket. So Neal will pick up his first.
Interesting call. I didn't see it.
Just the 4th foul on Yorktown. Lob inbound to Jalen Barnes. Kick out. Three-pointer on the way. That's way off the mark for Dukes. Tracking down the rebound is Carson Moore. He'll give it for Miller. 2:37 to play here in the second quarter. 7-point lead for Yorktown. Moore over to Preston. Back out to Miller. Now to Morey. Deep 3 from the right side. No good. And another board for Tyler Ahrens. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Fine with 2:21 to play. 22-15, Yorktown leads it. We'll take the commercial break during the timeout, and we'll be back in a moment right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
For over 35 years, Biggs Property Management has been the leading authority on rental property, management of specialized housing, including conventional housing, rural development, HUD, tax credit, and Section 8 communities. If you're looking for a rental, storage unit, affordable homes, apartments, and secure storage, stop by Biggs at 522 South 13th in Decatur or call 724-4616. Biggs Property Management has units in Ossian at Country Place, Country Squire Villas, and Jefferson Place Villas, in Bluffton at Lancaster Senior Apartments. Biggs Property Management, 724-4616.
Here we go.
Hey, if you're looking for a smartphone, Yorktown Wireless is worth the drive. They're located at 2209 South Broadway Street, and they'll see what is the best option for you. Yorktown Wireless Center, proud sponsor on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Welcome back to the Muncie Fieldhouse on Walnut Street, downtown Muncie, Indiana. Robert Connett, Tony Sandlaven, Wes Lorenz with you here this Saturday evening, where most Ball State students are down in Florida. We get the pleasure to stay here and broadcast this Sectional 24 championship.
Would you want to be anywhere else, Rob?
No. And the weather here in Indiana actually helps. It's really not that bad.
It is getting better. It is getting better.
Aaron's open lane, and he finds the hoop. The 6'8 senior now with 10 points in the first half. And Muncie Central quietly coming back. They only trail by 5 with 2 minutes to play till half. Neal inside to Preston. Can't get it to fall. And the rebound to Tyler Ahrens. How do you not call over the back? He was all over on Preston.
A lot of these calls the referees have made have kind of been all over the place. They haven't really been consistent in what they've been calling.
Three-pointer good for Williams. And Muncie Central is within 2. That gets the Central faithful here in the field house getting loud. 22-20.
Williams had 12 points the last time these two teams played. He had 2 3-point shots like that.
More for 3 in the corner. No good. Rebound, tracked down, and referee said they're going to call it travel. Joe Williams tracked down the loose ball but slid about a foot on the floor. Of course, Muncie Central will not agree with that, but technically, guys, with the rules, if you slide across the floor, it is a travel.
Yeah,
so a good call there.
I think he pushed off his foot to try and gain some separation.
So Yorktown will get it after the turnover. Neal on the right side, inside to Miller, gets away from a defender. Easy bucket for Riley Miller. He has 7 here in the half. 24-20, 1 minute to play here in the second quarter. Corthen inside to Ahrens. It will go out of bounds. He could not control the pass.
And just a blatant mistake right there, it looked like, by Tyler Ahrens. I'm not sure. He looked like he could have gotten to the ball, but just stopped for some reason. I'm not sure if someone said it was touched by Yorktown. I don't know. That was interesting.
Dangerous pass as it's deflected out of bounds by Marcus Dukes. 44.5 seconds left. Yorktown leading by 4. They ended the first quarter on a 14-0 run to lead 15-7. But Muncie Central outscoring them 13-9 here in the quarter. Morey, double team. Gets it to Moore. Inside to Neal. Back out. Miller to Morey. Left wide open. Top of the key. 3! Nothing but net. Caleb Morey with his first bucket of the game. Yorktown up by 7.
And you could tell Yorktown was trying every which way to get Caleb Morey in position. Muncie Central's defense was nowhere to be found. So they're like, okay, let's set up Caleb Morey with his favorite shot. Top of the key 3-pointer. He's been making them every time he takes them in this sectional tournament.
Down to the final 5 seconds of the first half. Williams looking to go, and he's rejected by Neal. His 3rd block of the game.
Riley Neal is showing what he's been able to do all season long. Didn't quite have this kind of impact last night, but he's been a big factor on both sides, offensively and defensively.
Central will inbound with 1.5 seconds. Ahrens, and nothing called. Riley Neal ran into Ahrens at the buzzer. The referees will not call anything, and the first half comes to an end with Yorktown leading 27-20. Woo! I think everyone needs to take a break, especially the referees. 7-point lead for the Tigers going into the locker room. Your halftime report coming up next right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
What do you do when you really need a degree to get a better job, but your life's already hectic? Between working full-time and helping out at home, there just weren't many hours left. I had no idea how I could go back to school until I met Shane, my personal admissions rep at Indiana Tech. He showed me how I could customize my schedule with convenient short sessions and online courses, so I could keep the job I have while I work toward a better one. He walked me through the whole process and helped me map out a fast track to the degree I need. And you know, Indiana Tech has the graduate and undergraduate degrees that are most in demand by employers. Areas like accounting, business administration, criminal justice, engineering, organizational leadership, and more. If you're looking for a better job or a whole new career, check out Indiana Tech. You can do it all online, over the phone, or in person with your personal admissions representative at Indiana Tech. Find out more at indianatech.edu/CPS.
Located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the University of St. Francis is a private Catholic university enrolling 2,300 students in majors ranging from the liberal arts to the creative arts to the health services. Small class sizes, personal attention, and the freedom to explore your options. A USF education has a lot to offer. Visit their beautiful campus and see for yourself how you can be a part of the University of St. Francis. Visit usf.edu to learn more about the University of St. Francis.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You already know the statistics. A college degree can open doors to a lifetime of better jobs and higher earnings. At Ancilla College, a degree is closer than you think.
This year, while most universities were raising tuition and other fees, Ancilla College lowered tuition 4.7%. You can earn a degree in nursing, education, or health science. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 10-1, you'll get personal attention at Ancilla, not giant lecture halls. Ancilla faculty get to know you and your goals.
Ancilla students save both time and money on high-quality, 2-year associate's degrees like business administration, logistics, and computer technology. Right here, close to home, near Plymouth, Indiana.
Find out more today at ancilla.edu or call us toll-free at 1-866-ANCILLA.
Ancilla College, your ticket to a brighter future is right here, closer to home and more affordable than you think. Visit ancilla.edu or call 1-866-ANCILLA to get started.
At the Yorktown Public Library in the Youth Service Department, there's something for everyone, from preschoolers to high schoolers. Preschoolers, we have story time on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., Thursdays 10:30 a.m. You'll enjoy story, song, finger plays, nursery rhymes, and crafts. Elementary kids, Tuesday evening is your library night, starting at 6 p.m. for Lego Club, followed by Reading to the Dogs, concluding at 7:30. Middle and high schoolers, the teen scene is for you on the second and fourth Fridays of each month from 4 to 5 p.m. for snacks, crafts, games, and discussions. Visit Yorktown Public Library, 8920 West Adeline Street, or call 765-759-9723, or visit yorktownlib.org.
Do you ever think about going back to school for that degree you really need? I used to think about it all the time, and it was scary. I had no idea how to begin. Then I met Gloria, my personal admissions rep at Indiana Tech. She's an expert at getting you started and connecting you with the right people. She walked me through the application, made sure I knew all the deadlines, and explained my financial aid options. She also showed me how I could customize my schedule with a mix of online and classroom courses so that I could keep the job I have while I work toward a better one. It turns out going back to Indiana Tech couldn't be easier. They even mail you your books before your first class. If you're thinking about going back to school, go ahead. Take the first step. You can do it all online, over the phone, or in person with your personal admissions representative at Indiana Tech. Find out more at indianatech.edu/CPS.
Halftime on DCV, brought to you by Indiana Tech, with personal admission reps that walk you through the process from start to finish. Keep the job you have while working towards a better one. You can take the first step at indianatech.edu/CPS. Halftime here at the Muncie Fieldhouse. Yorktown on top of Muncie Central, 27-20 here in the Sectional 24 Championship. What a good first half for the Yorktown Tigers. Guys, they keep propelling, coming off of that great momentum they had in last night's win against Blackford. The offense has kind of shifted a little bit. It's more Riley Neal underneath, instead of the Caleb Morey and Riley Miller threes that they had last night, but still working it all around, and Yorktown finds themselves with a 7-point advantage at the break.
Yeah, and Yorktown has done a habit all year of not really staying consistent in the way they win. They just find ways to win based on the opposing team's weaknesses defensively, and that's the mark of a really good team. And Yorktown has certainly made things happen for themselves in the first half. Riley Neal has made a heck of a statement, not just with his layups and whatnot in the paint, but blocks. He had 3 big ones in the first half, one of which he sent almost to the second, to the upper levels of the stands, and it was right in front of the Yorktown students section. Everybody just erupted, and it really contributed because it was about that point where the momentum shifted from the fast start Muncie Central had to the overall success Yorktown had in the entire first half.
Absolutely, and really the thing with the Yorktown Tigers, we talk about against Blackford, there was raining threes, 6 threes in that first half against Blackford, and that's probably what Muncie Central saw. Okay, Yorktown's shifted to a team that wants to shoot from the perimeter, and that's what they game planned for. You see a lot of open lanes down around the baseline, and then Riley Neal working inside. He's had some great moves down in the paint against Tyler Ahrens, and then Yorktown all night long doing a great job getting back on defense. Muncie Central, they have that speed, they have that athleticism, they want to work in transition, but Yorktown's getting back, and I've only counted 1 transition bucket for the Muncie Central Bearcats.
Muncie Central led by Tyler Ahrens with 10 points, 8 of them in that second quarter. So Central working it more inside as well to their big man, as 2 other Muncie Central Bearcats are the only other scorers. Joe Williams and Philip Corthen only have 5 points each. That totals up 20 for the Bearcats. For Yorktown, like we mentioned, Riley Neal leading with 10 points. Riley Miller has 7. Carson Moore with 4. Caleb Morey has a 3. Jake Preston has 3 points as well. 27-20, your halftime score. And again, the winner of this Sectional 24 championship will take on the Sectional 23 champion next week in regionals. That Sectional 23 championship is on wellscountyvoice.com. At halftime in that game, Norwell leads Mississinewa 35-21. So again, the winner of this will go on to the Blackford Regional next Saturday. And I tell you what, guys, that's going to be a huge regional. Norwell's the favorite to win Sectional 23, the winner of this Sectional 24. And then you also got Northwood coming out of Sectional 21. They only have 3 losses on the season. And New Haven from Sectional 22, they are 18-3 on the year. That's going to be a strong regional, no matter who comes out of that, going into next week.
You could potentially have the state champion in that group of schools you just mentioned, Rob. Yep. You're absolutely right. That is a heck of a regional.
So we'll have to find out if Yorktown can hold on to the victory here and move on to that super regional next week at Blackford High School. But they have to get through one more half against Muncie Central here at the Walnut Street Fieldhouse. As both teams back onto the court, finishing up their warm-ups as we get ready for the third quarter. Again, folks, if you're not following us already on Twitter, do that at Delaware Co Voice. We're also personally on Twitter if you want to follow us at Robert Conant, at Tony the Tiger 131, and at Wes_Lorenz with a Z. So if you want to do that, go ahead and it never hurts to have more followers.
I can be funny on Twitter sometimes.
I like to tweet at Snooki.
There you go. Wes, I think I remember last time when we covered a Yorktown Muncie Central game, you mentioned that you tweet at Rebecca Black as well.
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah?
If you haven't heard her new single Saturday, it's twice as good as Friday.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man. Maybe we can find some Rebecca Black for a rejoin music coming out of a break. I won't promise anything, though.
You guys aren't joking either. That's the great part.
We'll get ready for the third quarter. Yorktown with the ball. They lead by 7. As again, Riley Neal led Yorktown with 10 points in that first half. Preston controls it with Jalen Barnes all over on defense. Ball comes loose, jump ball, and Muncie Central will get it. So coming right out of the gate for the third quarter, aggressive defense, and Muncie Central forces the possession error.
And right there, we just saw Muncie Central. It was simple. They were just attacking the ball. Jake Preston had a defender all over him. He couldn't really move at all, and it contributed to the turnover.
Dukes, floater, rims in. Oh, man. Nice shot by Marcus Dukes, his first bucket of the game. 27-22 as Yorktown still trying to get it across the timeline. There you go. Preston double teamed, trying to get away along the sideline, works at baseline over to Carson Moore. Quick pass to Morey. Drives inside. Goes in between defenders and draws the foul.
Just a great look there again by Yorktown's offense. Quick passes around really prevents Muncie Central from getting in the position to be that aggressive defense that they like to be. And Caleb Morey able to fake out with the three. Who wouldn't fall for it? He's great at making them. Drove in, drew the foul, gets opportunities.
Hits both free throws. He's now up to 5 points. He already has 1 3 here tonight, coming in to tonight's championship. In the first 2 sectional games, he totaled for 10 3-pointers. 29-22. As that will rim in. Make it 29-24.
And we're seeing Muncie Central not allow Yorktown to do anything fast offensively and early on in this third quarter. They're really having to work for everything they're getting.
Morey inside to Miller. Underneath the basket, draws contact, nothing called. Can't get it to rim in. Rebounded by Tyler Ahrens. Down the floor, Dukes. Out to Williams. And now Corthen. Six minutes to play. Dukes with a jumper, nothing but net. Marcus Dukes with a quick 4 points here in the third quarter. 29-26.
Yorktown's got to be careful. We've seen a couple of times now where they've gotten a substantial lead, but kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal with mistakes like this that allows the opposing team to get back into the game.
Carson Moore stepped on the sideline. A turnover there. Muncie Central with a 3-ball can tie this up. Corthen over to Williams on the far side. Moore with the defense. They work it to the left side. Corthen again. Miller gets a hand in. And a 5-second violation going to be called as Riley Miller forces a turnover on D.
Hey, Riley Miller was giving Muncie Central a taste of their own medicine. He would not let the player move at all, right in his face, and causes the turnover there and gives Yorktown another chance.
Miller over to Moore. 5:10 to play here in the third quarter. Yorktown holding on to a 3-point lead. Neal out to Morey. Now Miller on the near side. Over to Moore, top of the key. 5 minutes to play. Carson gets it to Riley. He'll reset the offense.
Yorktown taking their time here.
Miller looks to drive. Floats it up over Jalen Barnes. Too strong. Ahrens with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Dukes. Foot on the gas pedal. Inside to Barnes. He wasn't ready for the pass, and it will sail out of bounds.
And that's just been a common theme by Muncie Central in this game. You know, they're only down by 3, but we've seen some just, I don't know what you could call them, mental errors, but just balls going through players' hands and going out of bounds, and it's contributing to turnovers that are giving Yorktown a lot of breaks.
Yorktown gets it with Preston. Over to Morey for 3. Hits it from the right wing. There's number 12 in this sectional.
I feel like I'm watching Ray Allen right now. Caleb Morey has been on fire from beyond the arc.
He has 57 three-pointers this season. Halfway through the third, 6-point lead for Yorktown and another turnover
Once
by
again,
Central.
the ball just goes right through the receiver's hands. I mean, keep making mistakes like that, you're not going to win a basketball game. Plain and simple.
Yorktown leading 32-26. Morey near the volleyball line. .338 to play here in the third. Miller hands it off to Morey. Inside to Preston. One-on-one with Jalen Barnes. Backs out beyond the perimeter, looking to drive inside. Nothing working there. Back out to Moore. He'll swing it to the right. Morey inside to Neal. One-on-one with Tyler Ahrens. Bump and draws the foul.
Another strong move there by Riley Neal. He is giving Tyler Ahrens everything he can handle. Those two have been matched up all game, and Riley Neal has really been the benefactor so far.
So foul will go against Tyler Ahrens, his first. Neal to the free throw line, and he misses the first one. Neal, that is his weakness. He has struggled from the free throw line all season long. Although here in the sectional this week, he's actually bumped up his season average, now up to 59%. Misses the first, second one good. And he's 3 of 5 here tonight. Up to a 7-point lead for Yorktown here in the sectional championship. 3:08 to play in the third. Dukes. Over to Corthen. Now to Ahrens, top of the key. He'll hand it off back to Dukes. Looks to drive inside the paint. Rejected by Preston. Miller the other way. He'll take it himself, and he walked, said the referee.
Looked like just momentum kind of carried him a little bit.
Yeah, he was leaning forward in the paint, trying to draw some sort of contact, but he hopped with both his feet. Moreward, that's a travel, and it's going the other way.
So both teams with significant turnovers in the third quarter. 2.5 to play. Yorktown leads 33-26. Dukes inside over Neal, too strong. Ahrens with the rebound. He can't get it to rim in. Fight for the ball in the corner, saving it from out of bounds. It will go to the backcourt, and that will be a backcourt violation. Miller is holding the back of his head. He got hit by Ahrens on that rebound. As you can see, Coach Miller is checking up on Riley, making sure he's all right. Riley's kind of talking, saying, why did you not call a foul? Looks like he'll be all right. They did call the backcourt violation, which was a good call. Muncie Central fans were booing. Not exactly sure why. Getting a little dicey here in the third quarter. 2:08 to play. Neal over to Miller. Drives to the hoop. Feeds it inside to Preston. Lost the ball. Picked up by Hatfield. Central the other way. Down the floor. Corthen for three. Air ball, but picked up by Williams. Basically an alley-oop.
Excellent alertness there by Williams. Saw the overshot ball. Just went up and got it. Tapped it back in. I mean,
it works.
I would call that an alley-oop.
Morey for three. He drains it from the left side. Third one of the night. 36-28.
Caleb Morey can't be stopped. I'm out of words to describe how he's been the last couple of games.
13 three-pointers this week in the sectionals. Corthen drives to the hoop. That's too strong on the layup. Picked up by Preston. 1:05 to play in the third. 8-point lead for Yorktown. Morey will get it over to Preston. Swings it to Moore near the top of the key. Carson gives it to Miller. Under a minute left here in the third.
And we're seeing now Yorktown just kind of milking the clock a little bit. They might try to make this the last shot of the quarter.
Moore hangs on to it. Referees are counting. He'll have to get it away with Hatfield on defense. Muncie Central fans want a 5-second violation, and they got it. Morey and the Yorktown coaching staff want to argue it, saying, how can you call that a 5-second violation? He wasn't even on him. They did call it. And that will be a turnover on Yorktown. Seems like everything the referees call, either one way or another, you're going to get one side of the gym booing you.
Yeah, well, these fans are avid about their basketball programs, and why not? You got two quality teams in this game, so naturally the fans expect to see them win. And when they feel like the referees are kind of working on that, makes them upset.
Now Muncie Central looking for the last shot. Dukes with 2 seconds. Corthen at the buzzer, heaves it up, high off the glass, off the rim, and no good. And we have hit the end of the third. 36-28. Can Yorktown win a sectional championship? We'll be back with a fourth quarter after this on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Fieldhouse. Robert Conant, Tony Sandlaben, Wes Lorenz with you here on DCV, hitting the fourth quarter. Yorktown leading Muncie Central 36-28 in the sectional championship. The 5 Tigers to start this fourth quarter will be Carson Moore, Riley Miller, Caleb Morey, Riley Neal, and Trey Cates has checked in the game to replace Jacob Preston. For Muncie Central, you got Dukes, along with Corthen, Williams, Ahrens, and Hatfield. Fourth quarter with Yorktown leading by 8 and with the ball. Miller in the corner. Drives and got rejected by the rim. Picked up by Ahrens. Ahrens looks to drive inside, goes up for it, missed the layup, rebounded by Cates, gets it to Morey, he wasn't even looking, it bounces off of him, goes to Corthen, and he hits the 3.
Miscommunication like that can easily swing momentum, especially when it results in a 3-point shot. And Muncie Central's been doing that for the most part in this game. We've had a number of miscommunications from them. That time it was Yorktown.
Neal over to Moore, swings it to Morey, fakes the 3, drives, and the referee said he traveled.
I didn't see a travel there. That was an interesting call. Coach Miller really disagrees.
Trying to explain how that was not a travel. The referees won't listen to him. So 36-31. Miller gets a hand on it, knocks the ball loose, comes away with it, drives to the hoop, layup and one!
I mentioned a minute ago, miscommunication and 3-point shots can swing momentum. Immediate steals and transition baskets turning into and ones.
There you go.
That'll get you momentum.
Yep. Foul will go against Tyler Ahrens, his second. Miller will try to make it a 3-point play. He does, and he now has 10 points here in the sectional championship. Yorktown leads it by 8. Hatfield near the top of the key. Over to Dukes. Inside to Ahrens. Double team goes up against Neal, and they will call a foul against Riley. Good thing is, Wes, Tony, Yep, I just wanted to make sure. That's Riley Neal's. That's just his second foul. And that helps Yorktown out a lot that he has stayed out of foul trouble. Inside, alley-oop, Tyler Ahrens.
And that time Yorktown just quit paying attention to Tyler Ahrens. He ended up completely alone at the basket. Nobody was on him. And that'll happen.
39-33. 6:15 left here in regulation. Miller looks to drive, goes up with it. He's rejected by Ahrens. 5-on-4. Dukes to Corthen. He'll pull up a three. That's off the mark. Cates with the rebound for Yorktown with under 6 to play.
Great job by Trey Cates there, being aggressive for the rebound. He had a defender right on him. He was able to come away with it.
Neal with the fadeaway, way off the side of the backboard. Picked up by Central, and Coach Fine is going to take a timeout. 39-33 with 5:43 left here in the fourth quarter. We'll take the timeout with them. Be back in a moment here on DCB.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Indiana is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Getting a good look at the Muncie Central Pep Band enjoying their time in the field house here tonight. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening on DCV, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it be in Delaware County, across Indiana, across the U.S., or across the globe on the World Wide Web. Back to action here after the Muncie Central timeout. Yorktown leading 39-33 here in the sectional championship. Dukes, fade away, rims in. For the sophomore, he has 6 points.
A strong shot there by Dukes. Fadeaways are never easy.
Miller decides to go coast to coast, can't finish it. Fight for the rebound, and they'll call a jump ball. It'll belong to Central. Tell you what, guys, these referees are getting heckled tonight.
Oh, they can't.
On every call.
They can't win. It doesn't matter what they call.
They've had some iffy calls, but for the majority, they've had good calls.
Yeah, it's just that's what these fan bases are so strong in supporting their teams that anytime a call is made against their own, they don't like it.
Yep. 5 minutes to play in the fourth. 4-point lead for Yorktown. Dukes thought about the three, decides to dribble. Pass out to Hatfield. Feeds it inside to Ahrens. Got away from Neal and lays it in. Riley Neal cannot do that. Ahrens got away from him, and it's a 2-point game. 39-37. And Coach Miller is going to take a timeout. Muncie Central fans on their feet here in the field house as their boys basketball team has gotten within a possession. 4:39 to play on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Everyone knows there is no such thing as an unlimited marketing budget. That's why it's important to make your advertising dollars stretch as far as they can. Maximize your advertising budget with Embroid Me of Muncie, providing professional, personalized promotional products that leave lasting impressions. From pins to tote bags and everything in between. Screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, spirit wear, and corporate wear. Embroid Me works with their clients to build and promote their brand. Embroid Me of Muncie, 3300 Everbrook Lane. Like them on Facebook for specials at Embroid Me Muncie.
Hey, who knew there was so much to do at the library? Teen scene, book discussing, story time, Lego club, reading to the dogs. You can find it all at the Yorktown Public Library. Visit yorktownlib.org for more details. Muncie Central has battled back here in the first half of the fourth quarter to make it 39-37, and we have a ball game. 4:39 left here in the fourth quarter. Coach Miller taking the timeout. Yorktown will inbound from the near sideline.
This one really has been back and forth and back and forth. It's been a great game. Bit of a thriller.
Central outscoring Yorktown 9-3 here in the first 3:25 of the third quarter. Miller on the far side with Hatfield on defense. Gets it over to Moore. They swing it to the right for Preston, who's checked back in. Now Morey fakes the three, draws contact. It'll go against Marcus Dukes, the sophomore. I believe this is his second. It is indeed.
And even on that one, you're hearing boos. That amazes me.
Foul number 4 on the Bearcats here in the second half. Yorktown with just one foul. Preston over to Moore. Now Miller goes up, stops, gets it to Preston, and there you call a 3-second violation. Wow. Against Neal?
I'm not sure.
All right, Muncie Central with a chance to tie or take the lead halfway through this fourth quarter. Hatfield to Williams. Now to Dukes. Over to Corthin. Back to the left wing. Dukes one-on-one with Morey. Hands it off to Corthin. Works it inside. Over Neal. Bucket. We're tied at 39. Muncie Central fans on their feet as they have battled back to tie it up with 3:25 left here in the championship.
And we know Yorktown is susceptible when they have the lead to kind of let off the gas a little bit, and that's exactly what they've done in this game. And against a team like Muncie Central, you can't do that.
Yep.
So look for both of these teams to really duke it out to the end.
Preston inside, off the glass, rims out, rebounded by Hatfield. Down the floor, Dukes over to Corthin for 3. Hits it! Central leads 42-39.
And this gymnasium has just erupted.
Third 3 of the night for Corthin. And Muncie Central leads with 2:40 to play. Moore to Miller. Draws contact, and they'll call it against Dukes. That'll be his third.
Riley Miller is upset with that one because he knew he had a chance to go inside with the ball, but drew the contact. And granted, his team keeps possession, but still, you want to score when you have the chance.
Coach Miller's going to take a timeout, and we will take it with him. 2.5 to play here in the sectional championship. 42-39. A 30-second timeout will keep it here.
What a game.
Absolutely, and it's important at this juncture of the game for Muncie Central. You see a lot of times in basketball games where you're trailing the entire game, you finally go up right there at the end of the game, and you have to realize there's still 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Muncie Central and their fans cannot be celebrating just yet. They are not out of the woods. Yorktown's got some fight in them. We saw it in that Delta game earlier this week. That Yorktown, even going down late, they were able to keep their composure, come out and pull away a victory in that one. See if the story rewrites itself with 2.5 to play here in the sectional championship game.
They make a very good point, Wes, going off of what Tony said earlier. Every single sectional game this week, Yorktown has gotten a big lead, and then they seem to back off a little bit and let the other team get back within it. Happened with Delta, happened with Blackford last night, and it has happened here tonight. Miller will launch a 3. That's way off. The rebound to Muncie Central. Dukes will wait on his teammates. With 2:13 to play, and now Coach Fine will take a timeout. Full timeout, we'll take it with him. 42-39 Central on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Looking for a new smartphone? Come see us, Yorktown Wireless. We're worth the drive. Contrary to popular belief that an indirect store is more expensive, we'll put that rumor to shame. Yorktown Wireless can be found at 2209 South Broadway Street in Yorktown. Check your upgrade eligibility, browse our selection of phones, and talk to a representative about what options are available for you. Mention the promo code YTOWN1 to get the best deal available. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call them at 765-759-0800. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call 765-759-0800. Proudly providing internet service to DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Welcome back to the Muncie Fieldhouse. 2:13 left in regulation. Muncie Central leading Yorktown 42-39. They're outscoring the Tigers 14-3 here in this fourth quarter.
Well, 2:13 is an eternity in basketball, so anything can happen at the end of this one.
Central with the ball after the timeout. Dukes takes it all the way himself, no good, but Ahrens is there for the putback.
Tyler Ahrens has come alive in this fourth quarter. He wasn't really as big of a factor as we're used to, but he has really made things happen in this one, and it's been a big deal. Yorktown needs to find an answer for him to come away with this win.
Yorktown got lucky there. Morey was trying to find contact, nothing called, but the rebound by Hatfield slipped through his hands out of bounds. Tigers have it. 1:48 to play. Neal underneath. He's rejected by Ahrens, but Cates is there for the putback and one.
What a shot by Trey Cates. He just kind of lobbed it up. He had defenders draped all over him. Somehow the ball went in. And now another opportunity here for Yorktown to get extra points on the board.
And Trey Cates is just so aggressive in the paint. We've seen him on the offensive side now, but on the defensive side, he's been just as aggressive collecting boards. But one of his weaknesses in his games is the inability to convert free throws.
Got it there. It's a 2-point game with 1:44 to play. That was the 4th and 1 for Yorktown in this game. Morey wraps up Dukes to stop the clock with 1:38. And Yorktown can do this all night long. That is just their second foul of the second half. So be ready for them to foul you for an eternity.
No easy buckets. It's got to be the philosophy for Yorktown.
It's Morey's second foul. Right side, Ahrens to Hatfield. And he's wrapped up by Preston. That'll be Jake's third of the game.
Well, this next minute and a half might be the longest 1 minute and 30 seconds of everyone's lives with how many fouls Yorktown has to give.
And check that. That's only 2 on Jake Preston. My mistake. Down to the final 85 seconds. 44-42. Williams, and he's fouled. And this is starting to bring back memories of the regular season game last year between Yorktown and Muncie Central here at the Fieldhouse. Came down to the wire. Yorktown was able to hold on and upset the ranked Bearcats. 1 possession game, 1:15 left. Corthen over to Dukes with Morey on defense. Dukes, and he draws a touch foul. I don't think that was supposed to happen, with Coach Miller's reaction saying, "You called that a foul?" Yorktown now up to 5 fouls. Riley Neal with 3. Central to inbound underneath their own basket. They get it to Ahrens. Gets away from Neal. He'll drive to the hoop and lay it in.
That was big.
Down to the final minute, and Coach Miller will take a timeout. Central leads it 46-42 here in the Sectional 24 championship. We'll take the timeout with them, as it's a full timeout. Back in a moment on DCB.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Gooseneck trailers, equipment trailers, dump trailers, car haulers, landscape trailers, cargo trailers, custom trailers,
Welcome to I-69 Trailer Center, offering quality trailers at great prices. We have trailers to fit any cargo need. We can custom make a trailer to your design. Let our sales staff help you with your trailer selection. I-69 Trailers, located on I-69 at US 224, exit 86. I-69 Trailer has parts and accessories for almost any brand of trailer out there. I-69 Trailer, online at i69trailercenter.com.
Welcome back to the Fieldhouse. Robert Connett, Tony Sandlaven, and Wes Lorenz. Thanks for joining us on this wicked ride. We're down to the final minute of the Sectional 24 Championship. Yorktown trails by 4. Ball loose. Still loose. Picked up by Maury. And they'll call... What do they call? What is the referee signaling? Is that a foul?
I think so.
They called a foul on Marcus Dukes as he was laying flat on his stomach.
And Marcus Dukes cannot believe it.
Coach Fine can't believe it. I don't think I can believe it.
That was wow.
Wow. That Yorktown just got a prayer.
But an important set of free throws.
Well, I've been saying it all broadcast. It comes down who can take advantage of when you're at the charity stripe. Moments like these are what I'm talking about.
Riley Miller will have a seat. Trey Cates checks in. Maury misses the free throw. A rare miss for Caleb. Rebounded by Central, and then Caleb Maury fouls Philip Corthen with 45.7 seconds left.
And Caleb Maury is beside himself. He knows he needed to make that one, and of all times to miss. That hurts.
Third foul on Maury. Aarons with the inbound. He'll get it out to Dukes. Dukes is wrapped up. Nothing called. Gets across the court. And a foul going to be called on Trey Cates with 38 seconds left. And finally, Muncie Central is in the bonus. So for the last 52 seconds, Yorktown had 6 fouls to give. They give them. Trey Cates picks up his second, and Marcus Dukes to shoot the 1-and-1. Missed it. Rebounded by Miller. 35 seconds. Yorktown trails by 4. Miller, and they call a carry violation.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I'm speechless with that. Wow.
Inbound goes to Aarons. He is fouled by Caleb Maury. And that'll be Caleb's 4th. Tyler Aarons to the free throw line. On the season, shooting 66%. First attempt of the night. No good. Rebounded by Yorktown. They're still in it with 25 seconds. Miller gives it to Maury. NBA 3 off the glass, no good. Preston with a rebound, draws the foul. Can't get it to rim in, but he will go to the line to shoot 2 with 18.6 seconds.
And as time clicks away, these free throws become bigger and bigger. Caleb Maury's was big. Jake Preston's now is as clutch as it gets.
Jalen Barnes will check back in as Trenton Hatfield has fouled out of this game. He finishes with 0 points. The freshman will have a seat. Preston to the line. Got it. Earns a second. Jake Preston now with just 4 points here tonight.
Now things can get interesting. These last 18 seconds. Make or break.
Second one good. 2-point game 18.6 seconds left. And timeout taken.
And those 2 missed free throws from Muncie Central on the front ends of 1-and-1s are coming back big, as both those were chances to ice the game. Now it's a 1-possession game. Muncie Central ball, 18.6 seconds left. This is exciting as it should be, guys.
Absolutely. You know, we knew coming into this one that this was going to be a good game because Muncie Central does not reflect, their record does not reflect how good they really are, and they're showing it tonight. And Yorktown, obviously, as we know, has been fantastic all year. It's only fitting that it comes down to a 2-point game with 18 seconds left. This has been crazy.
And now Muncie Central probably right now in the huddle trying to set up an inbound play, trying to get it to one of their best free throw shooters. We saw last time the inbound went to Tyler Ahrens. He was immediately fouled. He's shooting 66% on the season. Not the guy you want on the line. So look for Muncie Central try and get it to one of their free throw shooters.
Tyler Ahrens did miss one of those free throws, though, that could have iced it for Muncie Central, so we'll see.
Best free throw shooter for Central is Marcus Dukes. He's shooting 72% this season. 46-44, Bearcats lead. They'll have the ball. Both teams with 8 fouls. 18.6 seconds left here in the sectional championship. Inbound, and Corthen will be fouled. He will go to the line for the first time tonight. And on the season, he's shooting 60%. So for Yorktown, not a bad guy to foul.
Yeah, on that inbound, they had 2 guys following Dukes around. Nice defensive call by the Yorktown Tigers.
They put in Jalen Barnes, probably just to get a big guy down there to rebound just in case. Here we go. Corthen, first free throw, trying to make it a 3-point game. Rims in.
The thing with Muncie Central, there really isn't a guy you try for. Pretty much, this entire team is really, really good at making free throws.
Second attempt. Got them both. 2-possession game with 17 seconds left. Miller will try a deep 3 off the mark. Rebounded by Central. Neal will foul Corthen. 11.8 seconds left.
And that may have sealed it for Muncie Central.
Some Yorktown fans filing out.
I mean, with how this game has gone, you never know with 11 seconds left, but
it's true.
2-possession game, that would be a miracle. That would be crazy.
Bailey Miller will check in for the first time tonight. He will replace Jake Preston. It's the 10th foul against Yorktown, so it will be a double bonus for the sophomore Philip Corthen. He has 9 points here in the quarter alone. Misses the first free throw.
Leaves the picture open just a little bit for Yorktown.
Got the second one. 49-44, 10 seconds left. Morey pulls up a 3, far side, missed all of it. Neal saves it from out of bounds, but he gives it to Corthen, and Muncie Central wins the sectional 24 championship. They defeat Yorktown 49-44.
What a game. What a game, and what a story for Muncie Central, too, coming into this sectional tournament with a bleak outlook on things. I mean, they had a rough regular season when they lost Tyler Ahrens. You know, everything, they lost 8 in a row, and things really looked bad. Now all of a sudden they've pulled through. They upset Hamilton Heights last night. Now pull off the win against Yorktown and come away as sectional champions.
Muncie Central student section will celebrate with their players. The Bearcats of Muncie Central are your sectional 24 champions. Here on their home court, they defeat Yorktown 49-44. We'll take a timeout. Your post-game show coming up next, right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
There's still a place. There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place. There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players, and the terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
You already know the statistics. A college degree can open doors to a lifetime of better jobs and higher earnings. At Ancilla College, a degree is closer than you think.
This year, while most universities were raising tuition and other fees, Ancilla College lowered tuition 4.7%. You can earn a degree in nursing, education, or health science. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 10-to-1, you'll get personal attention at Ancilla, not giant lecture halls. Ancilla faculty get to know you and your goals.
Ancilla students save both time and money on high-quality, 2-year associate's degrees like business administration, logistics, and computer technology. Right here, close to home, near Plymouth, Indiana.
Find out more today at ancilla.edu or call us toll-free at 1-866-ANCILLA.
Ancilla College, your ticket to a brighter future is right here, closer to home and more affordable than you think. Visit ancilla.edu or call 1-866-ANCILLA to get started.
At the Yorktown Public Library in the Youth Service Department, there's something for everyone, from preschoolers to high schoolers. Preschoolers, we have story time on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., Thursdays 10:30 a.m. You'll enjoy story, song, finger plays, nursery rhymes, and crafts. Elementary kids, Tuesday evening is your library night, starting at 6 p.m. for Lego Club, followed by Reading to the Dogs, concluding at 7:30. Middle and high schoolers, the teen scene is for you on the second and fourth Fridays of each month from 4 to 5 p.m. for snacks, crafts, games, and discussions. Visit Yorktown Public Library, 8920 West Adeline Street, or call 765-759-9723, or visit yorktownlib.org.
Looking for a new smartphone? Come see us, Yorktown Wireless. We're worth the drive. Contrary to popular belief that an indirect store is more expensive, we'll put that rumor to shame. Yorktown Wireless can be found at 2209 South Broadway Street in Yorktown. Check your upgrade eligibility, browse our selection of phones, and talk to a representative about what options are available for you. Mention the promo code YTOWN1 to get the best deal available. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call them at 765-759-0800. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call 765-759-0800. Proudly providing internet service to DelawareCountyVoice.com.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant that sits on the banks of the Wabash with its farm-to-table theme. The menu changes seasonally, as does the decor. T.W. Fable obtains the freshest ingredients and the best produce around. T.W. Fable is an experience you'll truly remember with its seasonal martini list as well as its esoteric wine list. Reservations are recommended, but not mandatory. T.W. Fable is located at 360 North Main Street in Bluffton. Open for lunch Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 2. And dinner Tuesday through Saturday, 5 to 11. Visit twfable.com to make reservations or view their menus.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Indiana knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Everyone knows there is no such thing as an unlimited marketing budget. That's why it's important to make your advertising dollars stretch as far as they can. Maximize your advertising budget with Embroid Me of Muncie, providing professional, personalized promotional products that leave lasting impressions. From pins to tote bags and everything in between. Screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, spirit wear, and corporate wear. Embroid Me works with their clients to build and promote their brand. Embroid Me of Muncie, 3300 Everbrook Lane. Like them on Facebook for specials at Embroid Me Muncie.
The University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne granted $14 million in scholarships last year to students like you in Northeast Indiana. Our admissions team can help you discover scholarship options that may be of benefit to you. Whether you spend an hour or all day, let's have a conversation about your future. Tour the beautiful campus, meet professors, a coach, or sit in on a class. It's all available and individually tailored just for you. Arrange your customized USF visit at sf.edu/visit.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Indiana who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome to the world of Boomer compact tractors from New Holland. We know that buying a compact tractor is an exciting time and an important decision. Our goal is to answer your questions and give you the information needed to make an informed decision.
To learn more about New Holland compact tractors, visit New Holland Tri-County Incorporated on State Road 1 South in Bluffton.
In Fort Wayne, two sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team become state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7th state championship for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
Post-game show on DCB brought to you by Stoops Automotive. For the best deals on used cars in Indiana, look no further than Stoops Automotive Group in Muncie. All vehicles at Stoops have been tested for your safety and your satisfaction. Stoops Automotive, driven to be the best. Final score here at the Fieldhouse in the sectional championship. Muncie Central defeats Yorktown 49-44. We are now joined by head coach Greg Miller of the Yorktown Tigers. And Coach, this is a tough one to swallow, as Muncie Central poured it on in that fourth quarter, overcame the deficit that your boys put up in the second half. And it's kind of hard to see this season come to an end here tonight.
Yeah, it's tough. I told our guys, I said, your body of work speaks loud about you. And our body of work since November to now has been really good.
And, Coach, you take a look, compare this game to when you played Muncie Central to start off this basketball season, a completely different team. You hold Muncie Central to 49 points, a very good first half you guys had, having the lead at halftime. What was the biggest difference here tonight compared to that regular season matchup?
I think we guarded our shooters a little better. I think we did a little better job just closing out and keeping a hand up on their shots and their drivers. Defensively, to hold this team, to 49 points is pretty good. They got almost 4 guys in doubles and maybe a fifth one if he was a little bit more healthy. But defensively, I think we did a pretty good job tonight. Offensively, we stalled in a few areas. During the second half, as far as being able to create things for each other.
Coach, there were a little different offensive showings tonight versus last night against Blackford. Last night we saw just raining threes from Caleb Morey and Riley Miller. Tonight, not so much. It was a lot more of driving on the inside the paint with Riley Neal and the likes of him. What was the reason for the change of strategy there?
Defense. Blackford, guarded us one way, and Muncie Central guarded us another. When you spread a team out like we were spreading Muncie Central out, that opens some paint opportunities. We just couldn't get enough of them in the second half.
Coach, again, a tough one here tonight for the sectional championship. But you're looking back at the season. You guys finished 17-5. 2 of those 5 losses to these Muncie Central Bearcats. Can we get your thoughts, just an overview of your thoughts on this basketball season?
Oh, the season was great. I mean, our kids, they all had a great time playing. They're very good around each other. There's very, very few disappointing moments. I can look back on maybe a Greenfield first half where we had to talk about playing hard and trying to play together, and that was one half of many where this group took it upon themselves to play hard and try to play together and have one focus and do everything in their power to control what they can control. And because of those aspects and the characteristics of our guys, everybody from seniors to freshmen, this team was able to succeed and put together a pretty special regular season.
Again, finishing the season 17-5. You're going to graduate 2 seniors with Bailey Miller and Zachy Barami, and we got to talk with you a little bit on senior night about those 2 seniors. And moving forward, you got to feel, again, it's hard to see the season come to an end here tonight, but you got to feel a little good about the fact that your 5 starters this year are all juniors and going to come back next year.
Well, I mean, that obviously helps the program, but the program's not driven around 5 guys. It's driven around a bunch of guys. And the bunch is always stronger than the few, and we have to have more than just 5. So it's going to take a lot of work. We need some freshmen to come in and challenge, and we need some sophomores to get a heck of a lot better and stronger. This 5 needs to get stronger and better. So there's a lot of things physically that beat us tonight. There was a lot of things mentally that beat us a little bit too. But as far as an experience goes, for those group of guys that are returning, should make them hungry. Should give them confidence to be able to go through any situation and play, because we went into a lot of hostile environments, including this one tonight when it got physical and tough. And more than not, in the situations when it got physical and tough, we came out successful a lot of those times. So those are building blocks that those guys can take into their senior season.
Coach Miller joining us here in the post-game show as Yorktown falls to Muncie Central in the sectional championship, 49-44. Coach Miller, thanks for joining us here tonight, and thank you for all season long, sending up guys to us, talking with us for post-game interviews, and you yourself every game this season on DCV.
Well, we appreciate it. I know our kids smile when they get the opportunity to come up and do this, and not a lot of high schools get this opportunity, and we appreciate your time and dedication because I know I have a daughter at Indiana State that still loves to listen to you and follows you, and I know we have a lot of families that don't live in Yorktown that get the opportunity to be at home, and when they don't have a chance to travel to a game or watch us play, they get to follow the Tigers, and that's really special for our program to have you guys in our support staff.
Yeah, we're here and we're proud to be a part of it. Coach Miller, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Coach Miller joining us here in the post-game show on DelawareCountyVoice.com as, again, Yorktown finishes their season with a record of 17-5. And, Tony, it's kind of interesting to see that, Yorktown has 5 losses on the season, but they only lost to 3 different teams. They lost to Wapahani twice this year, and they lost to Muncie Central twice this year, along with Shelbyville in a double overtime loss in conference play. So they only really lost to 3 teams this season. And if you're a Yorktown fan, you could tell with that interview that Coach Miller is disappointed to see this season come to an end because it was such a great season for this program.
It really was, and it obviously it's not easy to win 17 games, and to say you only lost to 3 teams all year, that's really impressive. And so, obviously coming into this sectional tournament, this team had high hopes. They had expectations of going all the way, and why not? They're young, they've been around the block for the most part. A lot of them are juniors. Granted, you only have a couple of seniors, but to see it end in this way, especially when you have such a strong lead in this game, it's tough. But at the same time, you mentioned it in talking to Coach Miller, Rob, the starting 5 are all juniors, so they're all coming back. There's going to be a lot of continuity, so it's good to see, at least for the prospect of next year.
We bring Wes Lorenz back into the conversation here in the post-game show, and Wes getting a listen in on that coach interview.
I actually wasn't able to hear him at all. He seemed like he was a little soft-spoken. I obviously couldn't hear you guys behind the glass, but just looking at his demeanor, you could tell that he was both emotionally and physically drained after that ordeal, and it was a tough game. I know you guys probably talked to him about that, and it's just tough to see him lose like that, seeing Muncie Central and all their fans celebrating, and just knowing that it was that close. Sometimes you feel like it's better to be blown out because you say, okay, they were the better team. But in games like this where you have a lead coming in the fourth quarter, and then for the whole first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, you really couldn't generate anything on offense. That's tough to watch. It's a tough pill to swallow, but these Yorktown Tigers are going to come out with a fire under their belly in the 2014-2015 season.
Yeah, and you take a look one last time at this game. Muncie Central outscored Yorktown in the fourth quarter 21-8. And it was Tyler Ahrens. He had 10 points at halftime. He finished with 18 here tonight. And at one point you're thinking, Yorktown has been able to slow him down. You can't exactly stop him, but you have slowed him down. And then he finds that extra momentum to click on in the fourth quarter. He scores 8 more points. He had a couple blocks here as well in this game. And it's difficult, not just for Yorktown, but almost for every opponent that Muncie Central had to deal with where Tyler Ahrens was actually playing. A 6'8" senior. Again, you can't stop him, but you're only able to slow him down. And Yorktown, for the most part, was able to do that. Still, 18 points here tonight for Tyler Ahrens, but Yorktown defensively, for the most part, got the job done.
Yeah, and we talked about that a couple of times in the broadcast. I was very, very impressed with the defensive effort Yorktown came out with today. You saw Riley Neal many different times with huge blocks, sending the basketball into the stands and having everybody go crazy, a number of steals and whatnot. But it came down to the fourth quarter, and things just kind of stalled a little bit, and Coach Miller talked about that. Offensively, things really stalled, and it led to momentum going back slowly but surely to Muncie Central, and next thing you knew, they had the lead, and they never really looked back. Yorktown was able to keep it close, but that was how the game went, and that really makes it hard to lose in this fashion. But at the same time, that can be used as a huge, huge motivational factor for next year because, as I said, a lot of continuity coming back for this program, that being Yorktown, and they're hungry because, they were on the cusp this year. Next year, a lot of the guys are going to be seniors. They know their window is closing. I think they're going to be a heck of a force to deal with next year.
A lot of talent on this ball club, a lot of young talent. You mentioned, the juniors and sophomores. You talk about even Jake Preston. He's really the underrated, forgotten guy among the starting five. But he's been playing solid. He is a force down low. Obviously Riley Neal, strong force in the paint. You talked about how he's he had a lot of blocks for this ball club here in today's game. But again, the Yorktown Tigers, strong ball club, a lot of wins this season. Not the ending that they wanted, but it's just that extra motivation. You had it right, Tony.
Again, Yorktown will finish the season 17-5. 2 of those 5 losses to these Muncie Central Bearcats. So Muncie Central is the sectional 24 champions. They will move on to the regional with a record of 10-11. They are sectional champions with a losing record, but they get the most important win here tonight for the sectional title. You take a look at the individual scores here for both teams. Yorktown was led by Riley Neal and Caleb Morey. Each had 11 points here tonight. Riley Miller finished with 10 to be the third Tiger in double digit. Carson Moore had just 4 points. He was held scoreless in the second half. Jake Preston with just 4 points, and Trey Cates with 3. Muncie Central, they were led by Philip Corthen, who had 10 of his 18 points in the fourth quarter alone. Tyler Ahrens had 8 of his 18 in the fourth quarter. And then 2 other scores. That's it for Muncie Central. Joe Williams with 7, and Marcus Dukes had 6. But Muncie Central is able to get it done, and they defeat Yorktown 49-44. So the season comes to an end. Basketball season comes to an end here on DelawareCountyVoice.com as the Yorktown Tigers fall in the sectional 24 championship. So we get a quick chance, guys, to look back at this year for both boys and girls basketball for Yorktown High School. The Yorktown girls won their second straight county title. They fell short to Muncie Central in the sectionals, just like their boys counterparts did as well. But the girls basketball program picking up a county title for the second straight year. The boys program with 17 wins this year. And just to put that into comparison, they finished the season 17-5. Last year, they were 15-8, losing to Muncie Central in the sectional semifinals. They were 15-8 the year before that as well. So Greg Miller wraps up his third year as head coach of the Yorktown boys basketball program, and each year he gets at least 15 wins. That's pretty big to turn this program around, considering before he got here to Yorktown, the boys basketball team was winning just 5, 6, 7, 8 games per year with losing records. So for Coach Miller, Yorktown graduate, Ball State graduate, to come in, change this program around in just 3 years. He has 47 wins to his name. That's just phenomenal.
That's absolutely spectacular. And, quick turnarounds are anytime, especially from a fan's perspective, it amazes you. I mean, look at the professional level of what just happened with the Colts and Andrew Luck. You go from 2-14, all of a sudden you're making the playoffs. Same thing has happened here, but with Yorktown, they've now become solid. I mean, they're expected now to get 15-plus wins every year, and that comes with a lot of pressure because that's not easy. But at the same time, if you're Coach Miller, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself knowing that you've accomplished that in just 3 years.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, your 5 starters, even though Coach says, it's not just about the 5 guys, it's about our entire team working together, but you can't ignore the fact that your 5 top guys are all coming back next year. That's going to be a huge supportive system for the 2014-2015 Yorktown boys basketball program.
Absolutely, and the thing about Coach Greg Miller is you have a lot of coaches out there that are pure motivators. Come on guys, they're the rah guys, and then you have a lot of guys that are the strategy guys. Okay, here are the X's and O's. Let's do zone in this situation, man in this situation. And Greg Miller's really the best of both worlds. He's a great motivator. You can see he can get fired up. He knows the exact right time to get fired up. He can yell at his men out there. And he also really has a great understanding of the game. He's a great coach for this team, and he's going to be a mainstay for a long time.
So we're going to wrap things up here from the Muncie Fieldhouse. Yorktown's season comes to an end here in the sectional championship as Muncie Central battles from behind to win the sectional championship 49-44. So basketball season comes to an end. Guys, all 3 of us will be back in 3 weeks, close to a month from now. We'll have baseball and softball here on DCV for the Yorktown Tigers, and everyone excited for both baseball and softball, especially softball. Last year the team goes to the state championship for the first time ever. They're supposed to have another great team this year. Going to be fun in the spring here on DCV.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I know I didn't watch much of my own high school baseball team when I was in high school, but looking forward to it now. Obviously, you got a great program to pay attention to, and with the excitement of potentially going back to a state title, who could not be excited for that?
That's really going to be the story for the softball team, is they have lofty expectations. If they do not reach the state championship game, this season is going to be viewed as a failure. How do they deal with those expectations?
And also they tied for the conference championship as well, and so it'll be fun. Starting in April here on DelawareCountyVoice.com, we'll have Yorktown baseball and softball for you all spring long, and get to cover these Yorktown Tigers on the diamond. Hopefully we'll have some warm weather. I remember at the start of baseball and softball season last year we were wearing winter coats, and then a week later we were wearing T-shirt and shorts, so you never know what to expect with Indiana weather when it comes baseball and softball season. But we will have games for you right here on DCV. So we're wrapping up tonight and this basketball season on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Special shout out to all of you fans tuning in. Without you, this would not be possible. Without our sponsors, this would not be possible. So be sure to thank those businesses around Yorktown and Delaware County helping us out here on DCV and continuing our coverage of Yorktown athletics. So be sure to thank those sponsors. And again, thank you to the fans. We have hit over 20,000 viewers since the start of this school year. So thank you so much. Our third year covering high school athletes and sports here in Delaware County.
But did we reach 900 followers?
Oh, that's right. That was our goal by the end of basketball season to get 900 followers on Twitter. Let's refresh the page and see what we got. 885. 885. We did gain. We gained a few here tonight. But maybe we can get 900 before the start of baseball and softball season. That can be our new goal. But, if you're not following us already on Twitter, be sure to do that at Delaware Co. Voice. And we also have a Facebook page for you guys to like as well. So, again, thank you, the fans, for making us a part of your activities all basketball season and here tonight on this Saturday evening in Muncie, Indiana. So for Wes Lorenz and Tony Sandlaben, great as always working with both of you two this basketball season on DCV for Yorktown. I'm Robert Conant. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Basketball season comes to an end. We'll have Yorktown baseball and softball in the April. Until then, good night.